Happy video day, guys. So for today's video, we've got another first impression on a brand new product that just released from Marc Jacobs. So it's this product right here from Marc Jacobs. It's their new Undercover Coconut Blurring Face Primer. And I am so excited about this product. There's a lot of really cool things about it. So in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys me applying it to my face. I did use this product for 3 days already, so I kind of have a pretty good idea of what I'm thinking about it. So if you guys are interested in this product, we're gonna get into everything right now. All right, guys, so first things first, let's talk about how it comes. What does it look like? So when you guys do first get the product, it comes in its perfectly cute little Marc Jacobs carton. It always has that black facade and it says Marc Jacobs, really nice and beautifully modern in the front. So when you do take it out, you get a squeezy tube. Now, I do know that there's another Marc Jacobs coconut primer on the market right now. I believe he released it last year or so, and it looks just like this. Now, this coconut primer is different from this one. They're both different primers. If you do read about them, they actually sound very similar, and I was kind of like, wait a minute, what are you? But as I was looking more and more into it, it looks like this version is designed more for normal to oily skin, whereas the original coconut primer is more aimed towards normal to dry skin. For me, this is gonna be super handy, especially now in the summer. My skin is normal, but I kind of have like one of those combo skins. It depends on the season. Now that we're in summer, my skin is gonna be a little bit more oily than it's usually been, but definitely in the summer months, I do need something a little bit more to keep the oils inside, because where I live is extremely sunny. Because of the climate where I live, it does get very humid and it gets hot. So in the summer months, my skin does get a little bit on the oily side, especially when I wear something like throughout the entire day. So this product does retail right now at Sephora and on the Marc Jacobs website for $39 US. And inside of the product, you do get 1 fluid ounce, which is not that abnormal. My Dr. Brandt Pores No More, which is another one of my really favorite primers, is also 1 fluid ounce. So you're getting like a typical amount of primer inside of here. So there is a few interesting aspects of this primer, and this is what I found out when I was applying it. I've already applied this primer 3 different times, but I did film it 2 times for you of me applying it with different foundations. So the first time I applied it, I wanted to apply it with the Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation to kind of see how the line worked with the line. One thing that actually shocked me is, I don't know why I didn't expect it to be like a silicone primer, but it really is. When you squeeze it out of the tube, you have a clear consistency, and when you kind of mix it in your fingers, it feels very silicone. It kind of reminds me of the Smashbox primer, that one that almost everybody loves. It has a very similar texture to it. I don't actually use that one very often. I had a small size of it, but I don't have it anymore. But it kind of has that similar texture to it. So when I was applying it to my skin, I actually kind of like the feeling that it was giving me. So on the website, they are saying that this is supposed to extend the wear of your foundation, and it's also supposed to kind of like blur out the skin and kind of give you that filtered effect, is that it's supposed to control the oils on your face. So that is probably why they're not advertising this for dry skin. However, when I was applying it, it's not like it makes you feel like you applied something to your face that's making your face feel matte or anything like that. It just kind of just felt nice, and I actually really liked the way it was feeling on my skin. I actually confused me for a while. I was like, why can't dry skin get away with this? Why is this not advertised for dry skin? And the only thing I could reference back to is that the website is saying that it's supposed to be a control of oils. I'm going to show you guys a half screen so that you guys can see how the primer looked just without any foundation or anything on the skin. One side will be me without the primer, the other side will be me with the primer, because the website is kind of claiming that if you guys want to just wear this primer alone, it kind of like smooths out the face and gives you like that soft focus look, so that you can use this primer just on its own and just have like a very, very natural day. When I did apply the primer, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it as much on screen as I did in person. I actually do feel like it kind of gave me more of a soft focus look. It kind of like helped my skin look a little bit more even texture wise. It's not like it really like made my pores disappear or make my pores vanish or make my wrinkles vanish, because don't we all wish there was a product that actually did that? But it didn't really do that, but it just made my skin look a little bit more even, and it did kind of help a little bit with the texture. I can see how they could advertise this as maybe something that you want to put on your skin if you're just maybe going out to the beach or something like that, that you just want your skin to look a little bit better, but you're not planning on putting on all the foundation and stuff. I can see this working for that way, but of course that always goes along with how much texture moisture you have, or how much stuff do you have to hide on your face, how many wrinkles. So it does kind of give you like a little bit more of a soft focus feel. I personally just like to put a little bit more makeup on, even though I do think that it did make my face look a little bit more refined. I personally would definitely follow this up with either concealer or a little bit of spot concealing and stuff like that, just to make my skin look a little bit better. But for the most part, I do think it actually worked on its own as well. So I did like that. And actually I did notice that right away, and I was like, okay, I think I like you. And when I was putting it on, I actually like the feeling of that silicone feel. It actually makes it feel like you're smoothing something over your skin, and it feels really nice. So after that, I went ahead and applied it with the Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation, and I also applied it with my YSL All Hours Foundation. These are on 2 different days, and I have to say, guys, both of the foundations went on really smoothly on top of the primer. Didn't have any issue with like thinking that the primer was like getting away or kind of like moving around the foundations, and I think it kind of like sat pretty nice on top. And I will tell you, at the end, I really love the way my makeup looked with both of these foundations. One of the foundations is my all-time favorite, which is the YSL, and the Shameless Foundation is kind of stuck there in the middle. It's not my favorite, it's not my least favorite, but you know, I do think that the day that I applied it with this primer, I really loved the way it looks, so I'll have to give it to the primer. I don't know. I think the primer did work really good wonders underneath the skin by smoothing it over, so that when I did put these foundations on top, they did look a lot better. So for me, primers sometimes are really important, because if you guys are like me, I am in my mid-30s. I don't really love wearing matte foundations. My preference when it comes to foundations are anything that is hydrating, or even if it's a satin finish, but it has to have some hydration to it. So for me, the primer that I put underneath the foundation is super important. So this product is also created with 5 different types of coconut oils in order to nourish the skin. And I will tell you, I actually do feel like the nourishing feeling that I put it on felt really nice. It also is kind of like a clear color. So if you guys are concerned that maybe it's going to leave a little bit of a cast or anything on your skin, you don't see nothing. It basically is clear. So when you put it on, it disappears. The scent of the product, if you guys hear coconut, you're probably going, oh my God, this is gonna smell like a coconut. And you know, it has a very slight smell of coconut, but it's not an overwhelming smell. It's so faint that almost you have to kind of like try to figure out what do you smell like. It's a very faint smell. Very faint smell of coconut, and it kind of reminds me of the Omega bronzer. If you guys have ever smelled the Omega bronzer, the bronzer has a coconut smell to it, but it is not such a predominant coconut smell that you can't really tell that it's coconut. So that's kind of like the smell that this one has. Very different from like Physicians Formula or anything like that, that it's very strong. This is very slight smell. So if you're sensitive to scents inside of product, I don't think that this is gonna bother you whatsoever. And guys, I have to say, I honestly think I really honestly like this primer. First day I wore it almost the entire day with the makeup, and I think that it did make my makeup stay a little bit nicer. The Shameless Foundation for me is not a foundation that lasts super long on my skin, and I do think my skin looked a little bit better throughout the day than when I usually use some of my other primers. So I do think that the priming longevity does work on this primer. I think that this is going to be my summer primer. I'm definitely going to be putting this to the test more and more. Like I said, this is the 3rd day I've worn it, and I actually really like the feeling of it. Typically, sometimes when I use primers like these, I usually just use a pore filling primer as well, because I don't feel like they do too much for my pores. And I actually think that this primer just made everything just look a little bit more flawless, and I honestly didn't think that I even needed to use a pore filling primer. So I actually like this a lot. I am super excited to continue to use this. So Yu Chen Chung actually asked me on YouTube if this was good for combination oily skin in the summer, and I think that's exactly who this was created for. I think that this is created for combination oily skin for the summer. So yes, this is definitely that. And like I'm saying, I have more normal skin and I jump between oily and dry, and I think that this is going to work great for my skin. This really did make my makeup look a lot better throughout the day. So I am super excited for this product, guys. I think that this might be really good. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other questions that I didn't answer in this video, don't forget to put them down in the description box so that I can go ahead and answer them for you. Also, if you guys are interested in the eye look or the lipstick that I am wearing today, I put up all of my tutorials on my face makeup on Instagram at the GLAMRANCH, and I do list for you guys everything that I'm putting on. So this one will be be up pretty soon too. But just so you guys do know, I am wearing the Huda Beauty new neon palette on my eyes. I do have a review of that one up right now too. I'm gonna throw it up here in the cards for you guys. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget, guys, give me those thumbs up because it does help YouTube to suggest this video to other people so more people will find my channel. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.